Of lesson 1 for project 2. Here we're going to do the Logit estimation, and then we're going to do some predictive probabilities. We're basically starting from scratch with the data sets, and if you were using the virtual lab, it's probably just a good idea to go ahead and clear out all the data that you had in your virtual lab, transfer it back to whatever your personal computer is or your hard drive. And so clear out your H drive for the virtual lab and start from scratch, because these first initial databases again are quite large, and so you'll have problems. And so what we'll do is we'll import this, we'll pick up this first database, and we're going to create the dependent variable, the one, the dichotomous measure on firefighter injuries. And then we'll do a sequence of potential independent variables from the actions taken, and then we'll create a key for the merging with the U.S. Fire Administration census. This particular set of videos will probably get through the dependent variable and maybe part of the actions. Okay, so first things first, let's go and find the data. This will be in a folder for Project 2 out on the D2L system, but here I've just got them on my desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the desktop, and out there I've got the NFIRS basic incident for 2012, and so I'm going to click them. This one's the one that we worked with before. It's quite large, and that's the reason why it's going to be it'll crash your H drive if you're using the virtual lab. Let's go through and we can look at this string level here. We can look at the variable view and note that these have got all the strings attached or specified correctly, and the widths are correct as well. So everything is good on this. We're going to be working with some data out here to the right. In particular, we're going to use the number of firefighter injuries out here. So let's take a quick look at what that data looks like. So let's just do analyze descriptive statistics and frequencies. And out here we've got firefighter injuries already. So let's just put that one in, and we'll get something that looks like this. And notice the vast majority of these incidents are going to have a 0. And then we'll have a range of injuries from 1 all the way out to 98. And essentially what we want to do is we want to collapse this 98 through 1 injuries into a dichotomous variable. So we're going to go 0s and then 1 to cover all these different values here. Okay. To do that, it's not very hard at all. So let's minimize that, and let's go to data transform, and let's compute a variable. Here we're going to do FF injuries. And I'm going to say it's going to equal 1, or actually, let's just do equal 0, if include cases, if condition, firefighter injuries equals 0. Continue. And so we're going to say firefighter FF injuries, this new variable we're creating, is going to equal 0 if firefighter injuries, that other one, equals 0. Good enough? Let's run that. It'll tell us an execute down there. We should be fine. Let's go out. And at the very end of this value, we'll have firefighter injuries, and we'll have a lot of zeros out there. Then we just need to recode this variable. So let's do transform recode into the same variables, and we're going to go down here. We're going to pick up firefighter injuries. We're going to say the old value is going to be system missing. The new value is going to be 1, so we're just going to add that. So we're going to change system missing to 1 if, and this is where we put the conditional statement in. We'll go if firefighter injuries are greater than 0. Continue. Alright, so we're going to recode into the same variable. We're going to use firefighter injuries here. Old and new values. There we just said system missing is going to equal 1 now. Continue. And then we're going to use the conditional statement of firefighter injuries greater than 0. So if we run that, Then we'll again run down here, minimize that, and if we wanted to, well, let's just quickly do the descriptive statistics. And you'll see frequencies, we'll have 6,000, 6,500 injuries, and we'll have a frequency of 2 million, some 2 million observations without. Okay, so essentially what we did is we converted this frequency from 1 to 98 into this one particular category. Okay. And so we've got the dichotomous variable to do our Logit. Now this is an instance in which we have a overwhelming character. One of these characters is overwhelmingly large, right? And so this is something we might consider doing rare events Logit with. We're probably just going to run the regular Logit and see what happens. The other thing that we'll do later is, instead of doing this dichotomous variable, we're going to actually keep these 1 through 98 values, and we're going to use an event count strategy. So we'll use something like a negative binomial event count to do something along these lines. Okay. All right. Those steps completed, we have our firefighter injuries dependent variable. That's 0, 1. I just got rid of the extra decimal places there. What we need to do now is we need to create a series of dichotomous variables associated with actions taken. And you'll note that we have 3 different variables. There may be more than one type of action taken at any given fire event or incident. So what we need to do is we need to create a fairly complex conditional statement. We'll do that with the same format we used before. We're going to do compute variable. Let's reset that, and let's just do actions taken. We're going to put this one as control. Let's just say F control. So fire control equals 1. And this is where we're going to put the actions taken. Actions taken are going to require a series of conditional statements. So always start with the parentheses. And so we're going to say actions taken is greater than 10 or greater than 9, and action taken is less than 18. So the first fire control varies between a value of 10 and 17. So we want to say action taken 1 is greater than 9, and action taken 1 is less than 18. So that'll give us our range. Then we're going to put in an OR statement. That vertical bar is essentially OR in this language here. And then we'll do the same thing we just did before, but we're going to do it for action taken 2. So action taken 2 is going to be greater than 9, and action taken 2 is less than 18. Then again, we're going to put OR. I'm going to put another set of parentheses in here. We're going to do the exact same thing for action taken 3. It's either going to be greater than 9 and action taken 3 is less than 18. Okay. So what we did is we're gonna code this fire control as a 1 if any one of those action taken variables, those ranges, right, are within these different ranges for fire control. All right, so close it. We've got a complex conditional statement here. We've got parentheses, so if it's this one, or this one, or this one, right, we're going to code that as 1. Got it done. Click OK, and we're going to put F control out there is going to be one of our new variables. Okay. Good. So let's take a look at what we got, and you'll notice out here F control is going to be, we're going to have a new variable, and we're going to have a lot of F controls. I'm assuming that's going to be the primary null category when we're done with this. All right, we need to keep doing this for each one of those statements. So let me pause real quickly, and then we'll do that. Just looking at the length on the counter there, I'm getting to the 10-11 minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this here. We're going to have a series of these conditional statements that we have to do for those 3 variables, and we have about 8 categories to do, so that's going to take a while. So what I may do to save some edit time is I'm probably going to just pause and show you the statement for each one of those and then run it, and so I'll cut a bunch of time out of the model, so, or out of these instructional videos. So, but we'll start that with the next lesson.